So welcome back to another episode, and today we have a very special guest with us. JKB is here from the show JKB.
It's hard for me not to go JK, whatever.
Yeah, but no, this is Jason Hoop from JKB, and he's in Vancouver, over from Ontario for a few days, and we thought we'd shoot a whole bunch of videos together. This is a video that we really wanted to do together. It is crazy. Jay used to be an assistant manager at GameStop, or for anybody in Canada, EB Games. And he's got some hell of a stories about his experience and time there. And some of these things are absolutely crazy.
It's going to be crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never, one of these things, never talked about ever.
Yeah.
I've been saving it for you.
This is good. The other one I don't know too much about, so I'm going to be finding out a lot about this as well. I remember you telling me this one a long time ago. I kind of forgotten a lot of the details about it.
It was years ago.
Yeah. So tell me about your experience being at EB. Like, how many years ago was this?
This was during the GameCube launch. I think it was actually before the GameCube was even announced.
Wow.
And we heard about the GameCube, and I remember that stuff. I remember also there was like Nintendo was working on a double screen system, and we were all like, "What the hell is that?"
Gonna be? Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? And I remember, Grand Theft Auto Vice City coming out, and we had a lineup and security guards, and it was mayhem. So that's when I was there.
That's really cool.
As an assistant manager. So it was a really big time for gaming, but it was also changing. It was like because we were going into the GameCube generation and we were going into this like DS.
New hardware, basically.
Yeah, so it was the end tail of certain things, and people were like, that stuff, but it was getting exciting.
Yeah. So where did this crazy bad story happen? This is crazy.
It's here's the deal, guys. I don't want to make it sound like working there was a complete crap show, because it wasn't. Like, I had really good staff. I had a really good time there. But
really good customers you probably dealt with.
Oh, there was amazing customers. There's also shitty customers, shout out to them.
Retailer. Yeah, it's going to happen.
You dealing with, sometimes you have a bad day and you're kind of just like, "Oh, here's your game, sir." And then they call in and all of a sudden you get a call, "Yeah, what's going on there?" And you're like, "Who? What?" You have no idea who you serve that now has a... So it's all that stuff.
Yes,
the typical stuff. So that happened to me once, and they had to come back into the store, and I had to serve them like very polite, and I didn't even know them. It was a weird situation, but here's where it gets a little weird. So I've got two stories I'm going to share today, and the first one never talked about before, and I'm just making it clear I'm changing the names of some of the people here because I don't want to call these people out.
No, some of this stuff is really bad, guys. Like, this is what we're getting to. This is a real story here going on.
Yeah, and the reason I want to talk about this is because I kind of want to give the behind the scenes of the store and like how it is to work there, but also the staff really affect the atmosphere.
Yes.
And when somebody above you, like really, I'll get into it, somebody who's really above everybody acts the way he did, it trickles down.
So let's get to it. Let's see what happened.
One day I'm sitting in the store, and the Dreamcast had been out for maybe a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
And what had happened was the Dreamcast was a big deal. And I used to go in the store before working there and seeing the display and oh my god. Then I worked there, and that was about a couple months after it was discontinued. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and it's crazy to say this, but I'm sitting in the store, I'm assistant manager, and the district manager, who's in charge of 7 locations, maybe 14, I don't remember the numbers, but he comes in, and he's got a Dreamcast, 7 games.
Dreamcast in 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes up to the front till, and it's during work hours, plops it down, says, "I need a refund, a return." I'm thinking, this is the district manager who wants a return.
Yeah.
And he puts the games down, and I noticed that there used to be a thing where you'd go and you'd get all these demos. Like the higher-ups would go out there and get all these demos given to them, like copies of the game early. And he's telling me to refund those.
Oh, the demo copies.
The demo copies he got for free at some expo thing. And I'm thinking, in my head, like, this isn't normal.
This isn't on the level.
This isn't on the level.
Yeah.
So he puts it down, refund. So I say to him, let's call him Bob.
Bob.
I say, "Bob, like, how am I doing this?" And he goes, and I'll do it into the camera, "I'm the district manager. I can do anything I want." And this is real. And I'm thinking, okay, if he says it, there's cameras, there's receipts, everything. Plops it down. I refund it. $470 something from my memory. Credit card. Goes on his record.
Boom.
I take the stuff, I go, what do I do with it? Oh, it's default. Send it away. Okay. Not only does that affect our sales numbers, but it affects our stock. And it affects everything in the stock. So it goes into the stock, and then we get it all put into our inventory, but we never had in the first place. So get this, head office is now, where is this coming from?
Why is this getting sent back? Why are we giving money back?
Exactly.
Yeah. So who's actually asking that question at that point?
Asking which question?
Like, why did this happen? Did that ever get to that point?
Oh yeah, here's where it gets good. So I'm sitting there one day, months later, and the store, it's not an audit, but they do an inventory. They check the store, make sure the numbers, like every day, I'll give you an example really quick. I go in, printed out this list, count the games. If there's something wrong, I mark it and I fax it back into them. They go, okay, why was this missing? And if something's missing, you got to look internally.
That becomes loss prevention at that point.
Loss prevention will come. So one day they call me and say, there's a big problem, $400 and blah, blah, dollars on this day. Do you know what it is?
And you remembered exactly.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I go, oh no, like what do I do here?
Well, you just say what's the truth, though,
but also he's the district manager at the time. I didn't realize what I was doing would be, is it wrong? He's telling me to do it. But in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know if this is good, but he's the district manager. He's telling me to do it. Mm-hmm. So whatever, it goes on. I get the call. Where's this money? What did you do with it? Me.
It's you.
Me? I didn't do anything with it. You got to go back to find the receipt, because what would happen, guys, the receipts would be stored in the back room. So let's say this was in February. I go, okay, yeah, I'll go get the receipt box. February, gone.
Gone.
So he had went into the store, removed the receipt box.
He had that kind of authority? He could just do that.
It was gone. It was literally gone. I get back on the phone with them. Hey, there's no receipts. Here's the good part. There was $5 for, I don't remember why, but on the same transaction, as a joke, I said, I almost called him his real name, Bob.
Yeah.
Pre-order Wind Waker. $5 down to bump our numbers a little as a joke. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, do whatever. And I put it in his real name.
Yeah.
And I go, guys, on the phone, I go, at that point, I didn't realize, it wasn't a question of my telling on somebody. It was just numbers. They wanted to know where it was. So I go, I can't find it, but I remember who it was. And they go, who was it? And I go, it was Bob.
Yeah.
And they go, Bob.
Yeah, the district manager, you said.
Yeah,
right?
They go, Bob. And I go, I can't find the receipts. They go, well, you have to find them now, because now it's getting serious. They're like, why is the district manager returning?
It's getting elevated now.
Yeah, and they go, what did he return? And I go, well, I think he returned this, this, and this. And they go, there's no records here on our end that he ever bought it. So I'm like, oh no. So now in my head, I'm thinking, what has this guy done? Wow. So I call the manager. I tell him, hey, we're in deep shit here. They're going to come down to the store with loss prevention and tell us.
Doing audits and
I'm accountable. They're going to come down on me. And it was him that did it. So they come down. The store manager comes down. And he's like, we have to get to the bottom. And he hated, the district manager was ridiculous. He was horrible. And I'm not just saying that.
Bad reputation with everybody?
Yeah, so this is crazy because we get the manager down. He calls somebody up from another store. He goes, it's happened again. I'm like, it's happened again? Get this, guys. This district manager was going to each store, taking stock from my store, returning it at another.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I didn't, So I wanted to hear this.
So what's crazy about that is that no one could catch him because there's no paperwork. Wow. But here's the kicker. That pre-order was in the computer under his name. So that made the district the loss prevention people
take notice.
Come from, I think it was Texas, a flight.
They flew out
all the way.
We're in Canada.
Yeah.
We're in Canada from Texas.
Texas. That's how serious this was.
Holy.
They fly out. They check the receipt. I go, yes. I almost said his name again. Bob.
Yeah.
Returned this. And then it was this, because my job was on the line. Yeah. And I thought, it's him or me.
Your job and reputation and
exactly.
everything.
Yeah. And by the way, let me just point out, our store was #1 in Canada at the time.
Yeah.
With pre-orders, sales, everything. So I thought, he's going to try to take us down. No, that's not going to happen. We worked too hard for this. I said, here's the pre-order, Wind Waker. They brought him into a room. He came out stone face. Never saw him again.
So they got rid of him. Do you know?
They won't tell us. They would never tell us. So that's just like one story.
That's the one story. But
one's a little worse.
Yeah.
For the customer side. That was just a sort of a inside story of like things that people have to deal with. And you know, lots of people kind of make fun of the stores now. Mm-hmm.
It's become a bit of a meme.
Yeah, it's a meme to make fun of the stores and the staff and all that stuff. But we work hard sometimes in the store. So I wanted to tell that story that even in the store we had to deal with crazy shit. You know, a very short side story. There used to be like the PlayStation binder where we put the used games in.
Yeah.
That disappeared once
Gone.
beforehand. Yeah, and then we started to realize that he would be around. So we like put 2 and 2 together and realized he was taking everything.
The district manager
was
completely corrupt. Completely corrupt.
Yeah, a box of 3 PlayStation 2s gone one day. And it was all on me. It was like, where is it, Jay? Where is it? I was like, I don't know.
I think I saw him in the back room. They're like, well, he's a district manager. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, guys.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I was like, it was him. And they were like, well, he's a district manager. Well, I'm like, well, he's taking... Well, anyways.
Untouchable at that point.
So this one is more about you guys out there, and it's...
I haven't heard this story at all, this one.
This one's crazy, because it's about Mad Cats. And a lot of people might get a feeling of like, yeah, that's expected from Mad Cats. But... So we're sitting in the back room one day, and this is during when The Matrix came out, the video game, Enter the Matrix.
Shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so there was Mad Catz controllers, mini ones with fans in them. You guys probably remember those, and bigger ones that came out for, I think, PlayStation 2 and Xbox One. Not Xbox One, Xbox, the original.
The original, yeah.
And we're sitting there one day, and I have to get on a conference call. And they're like, we're going to do this huge, huge deal. Warner Brothers has paid all this money to sponsor all of our front windows for the Matrix stuff. So can you do this amazing display with Mad Catz? So put the controllers. I went crazy with it. I turned it into like the Matrix. I put like jelly beans that were red and blue in the window and bent spoons. It was amazing.
Wow.
So here's the thing. The game was not so good.
Mediocre, yeah, sure.
But the heads... Push it.
Because the money's backed by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, we have to sell it. We have to sell it. I remember, they would say to us, and this is the bad part, if somebody says is the game good or not, say yes. And it was getting to that point of like, oh, here we go. This is a little shady. But this is the kicker. The controllers that were featured in this big brand deal, all of them that we had in our store and many of the other stores were defective.
How are they defective?
People would buy them, the buttons would stop working, the analog sticks broke, all sorts of stuff.
Real quickly, too.
On these Mad Catz controllers. Yeah. So we're sitting there one day, and I get on a conference call, and he's saying, how many of you had returned? I said, 12. He goes, just keep pushing them. That's what they said.
Not a recall, okay, let's take them in. No.
And I said to them, we're pushing a shit game. Yeah. And we're selling shit controllers. And it was around Christmas, November, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought, what a shitty thing to do.
Imagine you're a little kid and you get a Matrix game. You're like, oh, the game's not too good. Then your controller shatters or something.
So it's like this pressure of like, here's your job.
Yeah, and you have to.
And here's some shitty games.
Yeah.
Say they're good, or you basically won't get the sales, and you'll look horrible during Christmas rush.
And you don't look good to the company.
They really put you in a weird position. Well, at least 10 years ago. I don't know about now.
No, even now, they always have to push extra stuff. When I go up to buy a game at EB, and it hasn't been for a while, oh, do you want this? Do you want this? How about this? How about this? Do you want to pre-order this? Do you want this disc protection? I'm like, I feel like I'm always this man. No, I'm good. I'm good. And I feel bad for them because they don't want to say it. They have to say it.
It's like upselling.
It's upselling,
it's like,
for sure.
You know, McDonald's, what's it called? Like, do you want to upsize that?
Yeah, supersize it. Yeah.
Yeah, because basically games don't really make you money. The controllers and accessories make the most money. Yeah. So that story led to, and I'm not going to get into too much detail here because some of it is a little even worse than that. But let's just say that was not just one case of where that happened, where they would tell staff to say things were amazing when it was really a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Where controllers would come in and be complete garbage. For instance, like if you sell a PlayStation 2 bundle, put the Mad Cats in. We make more money.
Yeah.
It's a business. That's understandable.
yeah.
But when they're broken, and we all know that in the store, and we know that at the head office, still push them and sell them out.
You know, like EB should be a store that should be a lot of fun for the employees, for the customers. It should be a fun experience, like buying video games, selling video games. This should be a give and take awesome experience. But it's so unfortunate over the years how it's just become so crap. I wonder if EB is even going to be around in years to come. You know, with Amazon, I order most of my stuff from Amazon now.
I don't think it's going to be there much longer, unless they really go ahead and go online and then use their locations as pickup zones, or even more accessories, or shirts and hats.
Well, they're doing way more merch.
Totally.
Way more merch.
Now,
actually, I had my Star Wars shirt the other day. I got from them.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy about it is when I was working there, EB Games in Canada was just EB Games. It was called Electronic Boutique.
Yes, that's all I know it as too.
That's all it was called.
Yeah.
Most people in the States don't know that. And GameStop was US.
Only.
And I remember working, and the trash, this is another cool side thing, and then we're done here, but this was crazy. GameStop was rumored to be interested in buying EB, and we talked so much trash before it was purchased about GameStop.
Why though?
It was made no sense. The district managers, the Canadian dude that ran everything in the whole division, that's a horrible crap company. They're garbage. We don't want anything to do with them. We crushed them in sales. And it was like 5 months later, they owned us.
Yes.
It was just like so many political things, and
oh yeah,
I could go on, but
you have years of stories there. It's funny, right?
Oh, I have like little stories of like customers coming in and smashing things on the counter because they couldn't return them. People stealing, obviously, tons of theft that happens.
Do you remember at EB Games there used to be a time when you could buy a game and if you returned it within a certain amount of time, you got your money back?
I was there when that changed. And
I loved it how it was, because I remember renting Sonic Adventure 2. I'm like, yes! I came home and played it. I'm like, no! I took it back. A couple days later, I got fully reimbursed.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I was there the day they sent those stickers in. Those see-through stickers that you put on the edge.
Yeah.
And if you put it onto the game and somebody tried to return it when it was like cracked, you had to just tell them, sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so many people that year lost their minds.
They were used to the policy from the past being able to return it.
And it was also not really well known. It's not like EB went out of their ways to
tell you, say you can't return games anymore.
Yeah, so all of a sudden I was just like the best person to the worst person.
It's, but it was a smart thing for them to do on that point, because like people were just buying games, beating them and returning them.
It was ridiculous.
Like I returned Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
tons
sure.
Of money.
So anyways, thanks for coming on and telling some of these stories. I just wanted to hear about some of this stuff again. Corrupt managers, fucking Mad Cats disasters. Sounds like EB. Sounds like GameStop.
What's funny now is that Mad Cats doesn't exist, which is kind of sad, but I mean, they had a crappy...
doing shitty business like that. What
crappy beginning, and now they're gone.
Yeah, so, you know what, EB, we don't, the stores, whatever, like there's so many employees that do such a great job there.
And that's one thing I wanted to say. I don't want to say that it was a shitty experience all the time.
No.
There's amazing people that work there. There's amazing district managers that work there.
Of course.
And there's amazing promotions that they still have to this day. But as a customer, you just have to be a bit smarter nowadays and make sure that you're not being upsold crap.
Oh,
you don't
God,
need,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Scratch protection on your discs. Fuck that shit.
On the Blu-ray, it doesn't even scratch.
So dumb. Anyways. So, anyways, guys, until next time.